Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how they were never riding with you or for you. They were never riding with you or for you, you know what I mean? And a lot of us been knew this, but we just have been through so much witchy stuff coming up that we just knew how to operate and accept certain things. We knew how to make certain compromises in the spirit world, so that way we can kind of get what we wanted out the process too. But we were never dumb. We knew all along they was never riding for us, and we already know the ones coming in the pictures, the ones that's not going to ride with us. We give opportunities, you know, the space is there to allow beings to grow, allow people to show their true colors and who they are. And you already understand that. For me, I know a lot of us that's already in these spaces, it's like we know what it means to be loyal to a person, you know what I mean? Because we done had a lot of situations where we were loyal to people, you know, and it didn't have anything to do with like beating somebody down when they're already down, you know what I'm saying? It didn't have anything to do with kind of like ghosting someone. You know, it's more so on our availability, you know, on our empathy to be able to care and understand what's happening in the situations. A lot of these beings was never there for us, and they didn't care for us. And a lot of us, it took us a little bit longer to process because of our upbringings. You know what I mean? So for me and mine, I knew that my mom's never fuck with me on that kind of, on the deep level. She kept me on the golden child level. I'm done with the black sheep. She knew which one of her little ones was golden. She made sure she tried to black sheep me as much as possible. I mean, from when I was young to when I got older. And it got to a point to where once I got to this knowledge, I understood more so, like, my mom's was afraid of me. Even when I was young and I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't have a direction, she was still afraid of me. The honesty, the way I used to speak out, you know, and she understood that. She knew these things on a different level because she knew the witchy stuff that she knew. And the thing is, with how you know someone knows and how you know they know, it's because once you become enlightened and become aware of this demonic shit that's happening out here, you understand that they have no choice but to be aware. And then once you're an adult and you're pushing these tactics onto your child or your children, then you already understand that they have to know. They know that in their world they was frustrated about something else. Now they're taking their frustration out on you. You manage your frustration better than the adults manage their frustrations. They're trying to beat you, you're taking it lightly. You know what I mean? They see outside of when they're doing that aggressive thing to you and trying to manipulate your energy, they see how much of a light bearer you are. They see how much light and life you bring into this realm, how much light and life you project and you talk into the others and the environments around you. You know what I mean? I say environments because you can go into certain locations and you pick the vibration up. You know what I mean? And a lot of people refuse to give credit where it's due because of the way the Western society is set up. So with us understanding these things, right, we don't ask for credit, but what happens is like if somebody cooks a really good meal for the restaurant, I'm pretty sure the chef gonna want some kind of compliment between there, just to know that he doing a good job. He not saying, going out to the table saying, hey, compliment me or the food, you know, but it's a nice gesture to do when you're an appreciative being. A lot of these beings and these people are not appreciative. They never respected you. They ain't never respect your energy, your vibes, what you come with, who you are as the being within. You know what I'm saying? Most of them just saw you as a piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? And until you get sought out as a piece of meat, that's never gonna really register to you how you could just be utilized as a piece of meat. It's extremely degrading and disrespectful on all levels. But understanding just how they was never riding with you. It took me a while to understand these things just due to the simple fact that I give a lot of chances and opportunities, and the way my life was set up, we moved a lot. So I never wanted to be one of the beings who said, oh, no, they ain't riding with me because I only known them for 2 days. They ain't riding with me because I only known them for 6 months. They ain't riding with me because I only known them for 2 years. Spiritually, the situations happen. Everything is always given. And then as the beings start doing the witchy stuff, things start getting removed and taken out. You know what I'm saying? Most of us, we give empathetically. We give because that's our nature, because we want to give. We're not always giving because we need a transaction. We need something in return. We need something to come back to us. In our world, we know that when we giving, it's already coming back in a different manner from the Creator. You know what I mean? So for us, when we know how to compensate that, we always know that things come back bigger. It's just one plane today, literally right over top of me. You have to go through a lot and a large amount of demonic depths and energies and attack before you even understand what's going on. And for most of us, it didn't even really fully register until we got out of our parents' house, or until we got to an age to where we can make our way the fuck up out of there. You know what I mean? And one way you can always tell that your handlers, and that you had handlers programming you, is look at your relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's what I always do. I always look at my relationship with my renters, and how my mom was one of them beings that if I'm in trouble, or I got I put myself in some kind of situation, it's a higher percentage, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, that she'll be there to kind of pull me out or help me in that situation. But if it has anything to do with growth or elevation, she is at a 0%. Most handlers is going to be at a 0% because their job was to break you, and they wasn't able to. And then as you continue to grow, you'll realize that they have to pay for not doing their job. They got to pay. So when we don't do our job with the Creator, we got to pay. When they not doing their job with the demonic team that they signed their contracts with, they got to pay. A lot of them had to learn how to put the mask on, you know what I'm saying, to sneak around and start robbing people and taking people's shit. They ain't have no other ways because they signed that contract. So when you sign that contract, there's other ways. I just say it's no other way because most beings never break out of those shackles. Most. I'm not saying all. You can have your 5 or 10% that will break out. But the rest of them are not breaking out of that mode. It's not going to happen. So I understood that not even my mama was riding for me. You know what I mean? Like, even with me doing all of this as long as I've been doing it, I ain't never got a piece of acknowledgement from my mom's. I know she would never share any of my content. My mom never even shared me before I was even doing any of this. When I was just strictly doing what I wanted to do, and then when I strictly started living for, you know, the universe, my daughter, and the ones around me. You know what I'm saying? No acknowledgement whatsoever. So I had to understand that if the one who brought me into this world, who opened the portal for me to come through, who helped raise me, could use this playbook in this manner against me, why wouldn't other people who don't know me that well wouldn't be able to use that playbook? They would be able to, you know? So then for me, it was like transitioning from that space. I just always understood, like, when I saw certain signs from certain beings, whether I chose to fuck with them or not, I knew that they wasn't riding with me. Just like a lot of dudes that I used to be around, I knew that they wasn't riding with me. Even though I'm a rider and this is what I do, I don't allow what they do to dictate how my principles, morals, and values stand. It's another one. It's crazy because I came out here and I'm at the damn school, which is nowhere near the airport, and I was out here for like 30 minutes before any planes came through. As soon as I start filming, It's the second damn plane coming through. You know what I'm saying? They ain't riding with me either. If they was riding with me, then they would have, the universe would have sent them the other way and be like, oh, okay, he's doing God's work right now. It's not a lot of beings out here that's ripping and running, that's going against the grain. We already know the kind of backlash we take going against the grain systematically. So if they not riding with you, what kind of backlash you think you're gonna get from them and the ones around you? You know what I'm saying? And once we get to a space of understanding that, we got to a better place of not trying to defend ourselves against these demonic beings, against all the gossip, slander, backlash, the made up lies that they conjure up to tell people. It's a whole bunch of weird witchy shit that they do to show you they're not riding with you. This is plane number 3. I'm telling you, I was just out here vibing. There was no planes. This is back to back. Now I'm nowhere near the airport. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy, you know? And y'all know we don't control anything out here, and we don't even barely have access to the airwaves up there, so the system does whatever the hell they want to do. But what we can do is be mindful of the ones that surround us that's not riding with us. That's not riding with us. You have to do a better job at understanding and acknowledging and noticing when people have been throwing shade, have been showing you signs of not being there for you, know what I'm saying? Just not riding with you. They not there for you emotionally, spiritually, you know. They 3D beings, so they may be there for you physically. I ain't gonna say anything about that part. They may be there for you physically. For the men. It's my experience with the women, they are not there physically. They have very little emotional responses and connections. Most of them, their empathy levels is extremely low. Extremely low. I don't say all women, I just said most. The ones I dealt with on that level, and the ones that I've witnessed and experienced, and the ones that some of my people have experienced and have been around. So I don't say it's just, oh, it's just the people that you're choosing. No, it's not. I could choose ginger ale from this store, this 7-Eleven, then I can go down here to this shell and choose a ginger ale. They built by the same company, so it doesn't matter if you go to one store, the next store, you still getting that ginger ale. You know what I mean? So when you able, if you're going to use the physical realm, use it secondary, because it's a reflection of the spiritual realm. So use it to create examples to kind of correlate things better for you in your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Virginia, where I got mountains, rivers, lakes. We got literally every beautiful piece of walk of life still intact here. And not saying it's not like that everywhere else, but you got some places where they will have to operate differently. Some people may be in a beautiful dry desert. I just said beautiful because some people love it out there, but for me, I need some trees or something. I need some kind of greenery for the scenery. You know what I mean? So, but it just takes a little bit of slapping in the face, you know what I'm saying, and a little bit of getting knocked off your pivot for you to understand how deep this goes. You know what I mean? So even if they speak, it's a lot of people who's learned how to speak softer, but they're still demonic. They're still using the same tactics and methods to show you that they don't fuck with you. They not riding with you. I had asked somebody a question being straightforward, and they was like, oh, you being a little eager, or that's rubbing you a little wrong or something. I'm just like, to me, I'm just a straightforward being. So when I ask things, it's because I want to answer. You know, when I engage with people, especially through technology, if we engaging on a certain level, or that door was being cracked open for a certain reason, I'm not gonna sit around and text you and talk on the phone all day. In somebody else's world, that's how they get to know each other. In my world, I grew up, we got to know each other in real lifetime in person. So any female that comes around saying, oh, we need to talk and text more, I delete, block. Hell no, you don't dictate shit over here. I'm 37 years old. I grew up without phones. There was no, hey, I need to text you more. I'm doing other shit when I'm not with people. So then I understand that, okay, they don't really have a full concept of what's going on. It's too much information out here now. So with it being an access and overload of way too much information, there's no excuses anymore. You know what I mean? So even for me, I'm in a weird space in my life right now where somebody had asked the question, am I protecting any women? Yes, my daughter. Yes, my daughter. You know what I'm saying? As far as any other kind of protections and shit, like I got cousins and everything, people that I care about, but they not in my vicinity. They spread out. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we all living on the land and we all in the community unified and I could protect everybody that's in my space right here. No, that's not the case. Everybody's spread out. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get to them if something happened anyways. I just got to send them spiritual protection energy. But as far as whether they gonna ride for you or not, your opposite sex is not riding with you. Your family, most of them, is not riding with you. That's why they don't support what you do. They'll tell you, hey, I enjoy what you're doing. Hey, you're doing a good job, but they not supporting it. They not promoting your shit like it's their shit. You know, they don't even like it. They won't even put a like on it, let alone do a repost or share. You know what I'm saying? So, and people will go and scroll on social medias and look at all these strangers all day. It's like you're more willing to dive into everybody else's world opposed from learning your environment in your world. I learned my world and my environment, and then I explore and branch out a little bit. Technology, when I go into social medias, I look at that as me getting on the boat going overseas, or me taking the bus over to Cali somewhere. I'm hopping in, I'm leaving my environment to go travel out for a second, and then I bring my ass back to my environment. I know that technology world, their worlds, what they got going on is completely different than my world and environment that I'm living in. You know what I mean? So just be mindful that a lot of these motherfuckers ain't riding with you. They not riding for you. They gonna continue to ignore your calls. They gonna continue to be unresponsive to your text messages. They gonna continuously be, what's the word for it? They are just going to be completely ignorant and unappreciative of you and the energy and what you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And of course it's different when you're looking on both sides of the spectrum, but the overall picture is we formulating how to clean up the cesspool that we in. We one of the weirdest generations that's living, you know, and that's got to experience this realm, because if all these parks, playgrounds, and school and stuff was here, it wasn't built in this formula that is built now. So this is completely different for humanity right now. So you have to understand how solid of a being you are to still be standing and ready to fight this war the way it's being sent and given to us. You know what I mean? It's all going to trickle down back to them later on. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep fighting and battling. We may have some hardships and shit we gotta go through. We may feel a little isolated, a little lonely at times, you know what I'm saying? Because that's part of the process. I ain't even gonna lie. That's part of, I've never been in a position before in my life where I have 0 females around that's in my inner space on that level. You know what I'm saying? But that's also all by choice, because there's a lot of demonic women who just they don't. You gotta be moving your godly light. I ain't gonna sit here and come with no excuse. You heard me about to go. I don't want to dance around. That shit, that dancing I was about to do, that's called the gray area. I don't want to dance. We shouldn't be dancing. That's why I had to fix it and just be more direct. If you ain't moving in your godly light, it's not really much I can do with you and for you. And that's how all of us should be carrying it. You know what I mean? And we all have to get better at being aware and trying to identify each other as well too. You know what I'm saying? The same way a cop car can see another cop car and they all wave. Jeep Wranglers see another Jeep Wrangler, they wave. You know what I'm saying? 2 Hondas see each other, they wave. We can do it when it's big robots. How about we do a better job at making sure we all can identify each other? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do your background check. Like, I would never treat a female completely shitty just out the blue, because that's not my energy. But if I'm communicating with you and we happen to cut something short, I can dive into your social medias, most likely, somewhere if they're not private, and I can kind of get a feel for your energy, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Just because someone has certain traits or you recognize something doesn't mean that they're moving in that light. You can kill somebody, right? But you did it on the strength that they killed your moms. Or you can just go over there and kill somebody just because you felt like it. Know the difference. You know what I mean? That's the whole big point we've been making, even as the men. I can't speak for the demonic men, but as far as for the rest of us, man, you know, that's kind of like the subtle shit we be saying about men. Stop just buying all this extra shit and trying to do it the demonic way and throw all these items out here to these females and to the people around you to bait them in. I know some men who would take all they niggas out and they gotta buy them all drinks, you know what I'm saying? Or buy them all something to smoke on, you know what I'm saying? Or pay for their whole time out, you know what I'm saying? Some people do that. They buy and pay for company. That's them. We work in a different method, you know what I'm saying? They ain't riding for you the way they say they riding for you. And it's always gonna show in the manner of how they treat you and disrespect you. But what's considered disrespect in today's society is not, they wouldn't look at that as disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Somebody ignoring your calls and then texting you, they wouldn't look at that as disrespect. But to me, that's disrespect. I called you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And once you start understanding like just how to mix and mold and process all of these things all into one, I promise you, it makes everything a lot smoother. It don't make it easier, it just makes it smoother. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.